back. And this is set with a frequency wave of 0.33 seconds. You can also see it's not a perfect wave because only the pump on the far side of the tank from me right now, that's the one making the wave action. So as you can see, it kind of rocks, the water rocks a little, and the corners are not where both front corners are up and then both back corners are down. You get a little bit of tilting, which kind of is nice and I like it, but one of the advantages of putting both pumps on the wave controller option is you can get a perfect waves where both angles on the front, there's no tilting of that axis. It's completely straight on the front. And we'll take a look at that and play with it. Okay, so let me set this down, see how this works. And I'm going to make a change here to the pump. Okay, what we're going to start off with is turn the wave controller off. Okay, so I made that selection and I'm going to send it to the unit. And you can see that wave action stopping. Now what's working right now, I think it's just the one pump and the other pump is currently off. So you can see the water level is about 1.5 inches below the rim. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch and put both pumps on socket 3 and 4. I also put the voltage on both pumps at 12 volts. Or actually no, 15 volts I'm going to do. Alright. So now I'm going to select wave controller again. And I'm going to send that to the unit. And now what you see is a little bit of a stronger wave. That's about a full inch to 1.25 inch wave. You can see some bouncing of the wave. By bouncing, I mean looking at the middle of the wave right here. See how rough this water is? That's a bouncing wave. That resonance frequency is not set. It should be nice and smooth there when you have your resonance frequency set up. And as you can see, there's quite a bounce and it's going quite high, almost too high. So let's go, and I'm going to give you a screenshot here. So here's a screenshot. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to change this to 0.3. I'm going to send it to the unit, and then we're going to put it in the auto adjust mode, and we'll see the tank changing a little bit, and this will be counting up 0.31, 0.32, about every second this will adjust. And the idea is once you find your resonance frequency where you get a good wave, you hit this stop button and that saves it right there. What I found is it's not quite perfect, but it gets you to a good point, and then you adjust by going down 0.1 or up 0.1, and you play around, sending it to the unit each time, giving the tank about 20 seconds to settle in. Every time you make a change, you'll get some wave cancellation taking place in the tank before a true wave will show up. All right, so let's go back to this bouncy tank. As we can see, we don't have a good wave. I'm going to send to the unit. So there's some wave cancellation you saw. And now the wave is coming back. And the wave is very small. It's only about a 1/2 inch wave. And why do you think that is? Frequency is off. Okay, so you're getting wave cancellation. So I'm going to hit the start button and we're going to auto adjust. And when you get a good wave right there, I'm going to hit the stop button. And we are at 0.37 seconds. So as you can see now that it bounced a little, now you get some wave cancellation. The waves are flattening out. In fact, I've played with this, so I'm going to go back to 0.34, which I think is about the right level. All right, we still have some cancellation. I'm gonna go, oh, I started it. So I actually, as you can see here, I'll give you a screenshot. I hit the start button accidentally, and what we're doing is we are in the auto adjust mode. And if we go back to the tank, what you can see is you just have wave cancellation because you're going through. We've already missed the optimal wave. So I'm going to hit stop. I'm going to take my time down to 0.34. And I'm going to send a unit instead of hitting start. So there you can see a good wave, about 1.25 inches, but a little bit sloppy in that middle section, a little bouncy. So I'm going to go to 0.3. Okay, you got to give it about 10 or 15 seconds to really get a true wave going. And that frequency is off. So I'm going to stop that. 0.33, send to unit. Okay. That looks good. That's a nice fast wave. A little bouncy in a minute. Let's try 0.32. Okay, and that's pretty good. Now, see how I was mentioning before where you get a tilting of the axis where the front is not even when you're just using one pump? Well, we have both pumps, and both pumps are here, so they're close to each other. They're about 10 inches apart. However, they're both spinning at the same synchronized rate. And what you see on the front is you get an equal lift on the front pane, and the same with the back. So it's much more symmetrical. It's very cool. I wish I could run this Tunze controller like this, and then when I went to night mode, I wish that I could just run the Tunzes at a small percentage, but that's not built in, that's not a feature, so I'm forced to use socket 1 and socket 4 currently. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is by selecting the inverse key. This is pretty cool. So we're going to select 0.32. We found that's very close to our resonance frequency. I'm going to hit inverse. We're going to send to unit. Now check this out. Instead of getting a front to back wave action, side to side. And when I showed the staff here, they really preferred this side to side action over the front to back. And I really like that too. You can see their resonance frequency is off. You don't have that big of a wave, so I need to adjust that. But another disadvantage, I cannot run this side-to-side inverse because I need both pumps set in socket 3 and 4, so I can't run this and have a night mode. And what I've determined is the most important to me now is to have a night mode feature. I thought about putting in another pump in one of those other open intakes. However, when they're all going, and I might be able to hook that up to where it just comes on at night. But if I was to put that in there and all 3 pumps are going, then it would have too much flow into the main tank, not going into the sump, so I get a spillover effect. And also the float would drop, and it would cause the auto top off to turn on and overflow the system. So I'll have to work on that. Okay. So there's that side-to-side bounce. Let me change the frequency. I'm going to go to the 0.34. See if we can get a bigger wave here. Alright, and we did. We got about a 1-inch wave going now. And again, this is set with a voltage of 15. I still have 2 more selections, 20 and 24, to maximize that wave. But you can see a nice bounce, and I really do like that side-to-side action. Fortunately, I won't be using it like that.